What's up, Internet? We are here with part 11. I forgot to mention this at the end of last time, but that puts us halfway through this awesome multi-cart of Sega goodness. Last time we played stuff like Micro Machines, the slightly odd Miracle Warriors, and the incredibly fun, but I'm awful at Ninja The. This time we're looking at Operation Wolf, which I swear is a light gun game, and the fact it says pull a trigger does not lead me to think this is actually going to work, but let's see what happens. Okay, operation initiated. Rescue the prisoners. Communication center. Cut off enemy communication. Good luck. Okay. So, yeah, I have no control over this. I have, like, no cursor control. Unfortunately, this is unplayable, and it's glitchy. Bear in mind, this would have initially been played on an SMS, which presumably you would have had a light gun with. Unfortunately, as a, like, pirate multi-cart on the Game Boy Advance, yeah, light gun wouldn't probably work with it, and I wouldn't know how to attach one to begin with. Actually, that does lead me to an interesting story, though. My SMS came with Hang On it as well, but it was like a weird multi-cart version of Hang On, like, pre-programmed into it. It had Hang On as well as a light gun game, and I never had a light gun, so I never got a chance to play it. I think it was called Safari Hunt. But, yeah, shots fired, 7. I have no way of aiming. I have no way of making this work. Unfortunately, I don't think Operation Wolf is even playable on here, so why it's included is bizarre. Next we have Outrun, the game that makes me absolutely love super scalar games. Like I said, I had them all on my SMS, and this one is my favorite. This is my favorite arcade game of all time, and pro tip, if you want to be a pro Outrun player, you play to Passing Breeze, which is one of the best arcade songs ever. Okay, so it's that button, alright. The controls with this are slightly more, or less consistent than a lot of other things. Now we're at like 180, we swap to high gear, and now we just drive. I love this game. I've never liked racing games, because racing games always felt so boring to me. You're driving on a track, you know where you're going, it's very boring, and it's not like anything's ever going to be different, you know? But Outrun was different, and I mean, Yu Suzuki, the guy who made it, designed it not to be a racing game, but rather a driving game. Sure, you're in a car, but you're not really racing. It's more of an adventure game that just happens to take place in a car. Swap to low gear because we need to. And, you know, this is a big, important game to me. Like, at the end of every area, you can decide on whether you go left or right, which changes the obstacles you will face. It changes the things you will see. It will change your ending. And it makes this more than just a game where you're driving in a car. It makes it sort of like a choose-your-own-adventure game that, again, just happens to take place in a car. I remember the original Outrun. This, maybe not necessarily this version, but, well, this version, but I remember the arcade version and the Genesis version, which I only played once or twice, completely blowing my mind, because it had hills, and so does this one, but I remember never really seeing, like, hills in a racing game before. It made this world feel a lot less flat. Like, you play pole position, or like, F1 race, or like, Rad Racer, or whatever, and you're always driving on, like, this flat ground. Yeah, there's plenty of turns and stuff, but it never feels like you're driving in a real space. It just feels like you're driving on a completely flat plane, and I hate that. Whereas Outrun, it had, like, depth and proper geometry and stuff. And, you know, that just completely changed my perception of games featuring cars, honestly. They could be more than simply just driving around a track very, very boringly. And nowadays we have stuff like Forza Horizon, which is like open world driving at its best, really. Although Forza Horizon 2 was pretty terrible. Although I played the Xbox version, not like the Xbox One version, which I hear is significantly better. I don't know. But I love Outrun. This version is not exactly the best version of Outrun, obviously. The Genesis version, if you want a home release, is pretty awesome. You can get any number of ways to play the arcade version at home nowadays. including on your 3DS, which I actually have, although they changed it slightly because Sega lost the rights to the Ferrari license, because you're driving a Ferrari Testarossa in this game. So they had to change the little Ferrari horse to like a little star emblem on the back of their car. And it's unfortunately because of that licensing that you can now no longer get Outrun Online on like the Xbox 360 and on the PS4 or PS3, and it makes me really sad. I'm going to play again. It's really sad because I wanted to get that game. Like, they took it off a couple days before I got my 360, and that made me so sad. And the sad thing is, I always sort of waited just on the off chance that it would come back, because you could always download the demo. And the funny thing is, I think someone screwed up at Microsoft or something, because it was actually available for like an hour. And that hour just happened to be the time when I was playing the demo again, because I really liked that game. And I saw that I could actually purchase it, so I went out to the store to buy like a Microsoft Points card, because Microsoft Points were still a thing at that time, and I didn't have a credit card. And unfortunately, when I got back, the ability to buy it was turned off. And it made me so sad, because I've got this demo for Xbox 360 Outrun that I would just love to have, that I'm not allowed to play. And I'm never getting rid of it, just out of principle. It's the same with the Afterburner game, actually. Like, they took that down, you can't get that anymore, which makes me sad. Because I always wanted to get that, too. You know, that's one thing I don't like about buying games digitally, is at some point, the idea of like having a digital library is great until you realize at some point someone can just turn that off and it's no longer yours. You don't own it anymore. And I mean, nowadays, when you buy a disc, you still don't own it. You own a license to play it, but you don't own it, and I just can't stand that nonsense, honestly. And I've heard that some people are trying to like retroactively make that happen with older games as well, which I hate that too. Like, it feels just absolutely slimy to have something and like to support people and like pay them money for something that you absolutely want and that you love and you love with a passion, and just to have them completely just be malicious about you enjoying their product that you want to pay them for and support them for. And you know, I've got the same problem with like people who copyright claim gameplay videos on YouTube and the likes. It just comes across as scummy. But of course, I'm a guy who does that professionally, so you know, when it hits me, it hits kind of my ability to actually do my job, which sucks. Okay, next is Panzer Dragoon Mini. It is one of two Panzer Dragoon games I don't own. I don't own this, and I don't own the legendary Panzer Dragoon Saga, the absolute most affordable of all of them. I think disc only nowadays is like $600, which, and it's the RPG one, so you know it's the one I want to play. Alright, so this is the Blue Dragon, also known as the Solo Wing, because they were nice enough to name their main dragon after me. This is a Red Dragon. I don't know what that's from. I think there was a... This is the Orange Dragon. This is a... Well, it's the Black Dragon, but it's the Orange Dragon, which I believe was supposed to be the dragon from Panzer Dragoon 2. Although, spoilers, the Panzer Dragoon dragon actually becomes the one from the original game, if you play it properly. So we're going to go with the dragon they named after me. And if you haven't seen my Panzer Dragoon videos, you should probably go do that, because I love Panzer Dragoon. Panzer Dragoon is a great game. This version, not so much. This version is kind of like a really low-quality Afterburner, really, with a dragon. But it's Panzer Dragoon on the Game Gear. And to try and translate a Sega Saturn game onto the I was about to call it the Dream Gear, which is a different thing entirely, onto the Game Gear, that's not something that should go unnoticed. That said, this is not a good game. It's not a great Panzer Dragoon. It's not really a fun game at all. I mean, if we were playing actual Saturn Panzer Dragoon right now, we'd be flying through what looks like a flooded, like, Taj Mahal type of thing. And then it would get, like, bombed out by, like, this giant airship, and it would be, like, this giant amazing moment of just understanding how destroyed this world is, and, like, how everything in the world is, like, both biological and mechanical at the same time. I love the world design of Panzer Dragoon. Panzer Dragoon, the original at least, actually got a re-release, or a remake a couple months ago that, like, stealth launched on the Switch and then is supposed to come out on, like, Xbox One at some point, but I hear it's not very good. And this is the... I think this is like the final boss of the... Well, it's the penultimate boss of the second game. I don't know why you're fighting it here, but you also don't seem to have a writer, so I'm not sure what part of this is supposed to make logical, coherent sense in the Panzer Dragoon multiverse. But this is the most uninteresting Panzer Dragoon boss fight ever. Seriously, just go watch my video on Panzer Dragoon. It's so good. But this is not what I would call great. But I guess that was the first level, and now it's basically the same over and over, and I'm already bored. And that sucks because it's Panzer Dragoon. It's one of my favorite series. Next we have Phantasy Star. I believe this game was a big deal because it was actually made by a woman back in the day, which was, I don't want to say unheard of, because it's not the case, but it was not super common. I think Centipede was also one that was touted by the fact that it was made by a woman. But Phantasy Star was Sega's sort of equivalent to Final Fantasy, a little bit. I mean, it was nowhere near as popular, but Sega was a console that didn't have a lot of RPGs. So to have something that kind of combats stuff like that, that was a big deal. And visually this reminds me a lot, like your character sprite reminds me a lot of the main character from Ghostline. Excuse me, I'm all hiccupy right now, but it reminds me of Ghostline from the... Okay, we have no Mistetta. I know all these terms because I play a lot of Phantasy Star Online too, like every day, because it's a game I really like. And I've been playing for like 9 years. We can't pass because stormtroopers. Alas. No, I just want to talk to the guy. Okay, so both buttons activate a... Can I just talk to you now? Okay, well, let's try... Okay, there's nothing special about the person we're clearly trying to talk to. Got it. Oh, here's the exit. Okay. I like this song a lot. Okay, so that's some sort of spaceport over there. That's the exit. Okay. Now, yeah, from what I remember, there's not a lot of actual control over combat in these games. Which I've always found to be a little peculiar. But, you know, I think this is a very important game. Of course we're going to open a treasure chest. There is 6 Mistetta inside. Awesome. I can't buy anything with that, though. If I get maybe 1,000 million times that, I'll be able to buy a simple cosmetic for my character. Oh no. My hope cannot overcome the power of a bug. My adventure is over. Alas. I think I probably need to equip myself. But let's move on to the 4th game, Phantasy Star Adventure. This game I'm actually not familiar with. I don't know what this is. Well, it's Phantasy Star, obviously, but... Oh, we got lowercase. I'm going to use these instead. To look like I'm using spelling properly. I know how to spell my name. Giant E for end. Ooh. I mean, the last game had a nice little visual style. Definitely an impressive one. This one looks a little bit better. Although, similarly to, what was it, Miracle Warrior last time, it feels like the thing you're actually supposed to, like, be interested in is the smallest part of the screen. And I don't like that. But this is, of course, basically a cutscene, so let's see what happens when we actually get into proper gameplay. We're in a spaceport. The exit is to the east. Reading that makes me feel like I'm playing Zork again. Okay, let's talk to Secretary Lady. Okay, well, we're not going there. So let's move east. I'm in Carsonville. The road goes north and east, and the spaceport is west. Okay, well, there's a person here. Let's talk to them. Man. Kopsur is not a word, but thank you. We'll go north. This is the center of Carsonville. There's a shop to the east and a police station to the west. Let's talk to this person. One of them is Dr. Miller. The other is Lucero, who lives in a cabin in the wilderness. I'm guessing that's probably where we need to go. Let's go north. Dr. Miller's house stands before me. Hey, teleport center. Okay. Well, let's go to Dr. Miller's house. The door is to the north and goes further inside. I'm guessing I need to talk to the beautiful girl. I don't know why she specifically had to be defined as beautiful, but okay. I don't know who Ken is, but alright. Lila. I'm guessing Ken is Dr. Miller. Alright, 30 Mistetta. Nice. I mean, again, it's worth nothing until we get like 30 million, and then we can buy even the most basic of cosmetics, but it's a start. The doctor's here. There's a large machine covered in cloth. Look. Around. Okay, no. Can I look at the cloth thingamabob? Okay, let's talk to the doctor and see what happens. Okay. Huh. I'm noticing some graphical bugs. I have a feeling like that was probably existent in the original version, but the cloth is disappearing. I'm assuming that was likely a technical limitation. Okay, so we need something to drink. Let's talk to Lila. Maybe she'll tell us where a store is. Okay, that's not useful. Gotta go find a store, I guess. Let's go back to the center of town. Okay. There's a shop to the east, so we go east, and hopefully we can get some water or something. Food to weapons. That's a useful store. Clerk. I shall take Desolus soda. It feels like someone was really trying to misspell delicious. I don't know why I can't talk right now. Maybe it's because my throat's swelling up. Okay, let's go back to Ken and Barbie, and hopefully they'll show us their weird cloth thing that keeps disappearing on us. Maybe that's what it is. It's like inconsistent cloth. That's his new invention. It's not the thing under it. It's the cloth itself. Okay, Dr. Miller. Now, question. Do I use the item or do I talk to him? Because I feel like if I use the item, I might heal myself, and that would completely screw this up. I don't want to take. I want to talk. But I'm thirsty. So... get nothing. That is okay. Use. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I thought. Okay, well, frustrated now, but that could be interesting. And that's game number 4. On to game number 5, Phantasy Star Gaiden. How Gaiden-y is it, though? Long ago, the evil Cablon ravaged. I was about to say revenged. Okay, we got plot. Don't care. I do appreciate the green hair and warrior headband that girl is rocking. Okay, good to skip all this. Got a wooden cane and some Mistetta. Alright, we got a proper party from the get-go. We're already ahead of the curve this time. Okay, item. Okay, so it looks like none of this stuff is actually equipped to us. So, let's give Mina the fighter stuff. And we'll give wisdom. I don't know what that is, we'll leave that alone. Okay. So we're gonna make the girl the fighter because of course we are. Next thing we gotta do is get out of here. Now, this is either a teleporter or it's a church. Or it's a girl wearing very little clothes. Did not expect that, honestly. But it is an anime game, so I guess I was a fool not to expect that. Where's the exit? I want to go fight a thing. Let me just punch a monster with my sword. There we go. Let's visit Old Rob first. You're gonna make me do that. Okay. So the question is, where is Old Rob? I assume he's just in one of the nondescript houses. Ah. Free rest. I appreciate not having to pay for it. See ya. Okay, well, here's some more nondescript houses. Maybe one of these is Old Rob. Thank you for telling me about how the church lady can do stuff, but I already figured that much out. So, just grind slimes. Useful advice, I guess. Not exactly going to be the most interesting battle ever, but it's good advice. Daedalus has nabbed some people. Okay. I feel like this might have been helpful if I'd actually paid attention to the opening, but we're on a time limit here. I mean, we started in this building. Am I supposed to actually go back in? Do your best. That is not really helpful because it's not advice in any way, shape, or form. Do I have to... No, I don't care so much about that. I'm guessing none of those were old, what's-his-face. Maybe he's here. I'm looking for old what's-his-face. Point me in that direction. Okay, I think we've been through every house here. I'm a little bit annoyed with the fact there's no speed up button. Okay, I don't need an inn. Is there another house we're just missing? Because I swear we've been to all of these houses. Okay. Well, maybe that was Old Rob and we just have to go leave now. Possibly. Because I think we're running out of... Unless it's just one of the random people walking around. Or it's up this way and there's just no actual path leading to where we need to go. That would be a dick way to design this. Okay, so that's annoying. Walking anywhere near a person makes them run directly at you and even more in the way. That's not good. That is just... that's bad. Okay, so this is the Elder. I feel like this is obvious and I'm just being dumb. But we're gonna do this proper. Okay, we talked to that person. This is a weapon shop, obviously. That's some really, really awesome looking armor. Can I have that? Like, just in every game? Because that is some really nice looking armor. I hope I can find the sprite of that armor. Like, that is nice armor. That is armor designs that could be inspirational for sketching. Okay. Let's go to this house. It's Blue Hair Lady talking about Church Lady again. I know. Find an ATV. Okay, so we're definitely not in some sort of past world. We're not, like, in underdeveloped land anymore. Okay, so we've rested. We have definitely talked to everyone as far as I can tell. This doesn't seem like the situation where you need to talk to everyone twice to get, like, a secondary different response. Unless he's up here. Okay. So going back to what I was saying, that's dick design right there. Also, she's missing her headband now. I'm totally disillusioned with this game. There's something about a prophecy. Go see a thing, then use a telepipe. Yep, I've played Phantasy Star Online. I know how stuff works. Don't die or you drop your weapon and then someone steals it. Okay, so once again, this goes back to like my initial statement of the part about the screen that you'd be most interested in is like the smallest part of the screen. I don't on a fundamental level like that. Uh-oh. So we're about to die on our first fight. You know, I have to take umbrage with this. The lady said expressly that we should sit here and fight slimes until we get better. But we got, like, completely wrecked by slimes. And we're about to get completely wrecked by more stuff. Wow, the encounter rate on this is dumb. Are you serious right now? Okay, so this game has an absurd encounter system. Please don't charge me, I can't afford it. Well, one of us is dead, a miracle might be good. Okay, let's heal up and try this again. Thanks, Alex, Mom. Okay. Let's try this again. Going off on an adventure, hopefully not to be completely destroyed by slimes 2 steps out the gate. Do we actually have magic? No. Okay, so we actually don't have magic, so it's not a matter of us actually needing, like, special abilities to fight special slimes early on or anything, to take advantage of the fact that they're slimes. It's just beat your face into them and don't die. That is horrible. I'm not terribly thrilled with this. I think I've got a good idea of this. So, based on these past, honestly, 6 games, but we're not going to count Operation Wolf, would I recommend this collection of games? Well, Operation Wolf is completely unplayable. Outrun is awesome. Panzer Dragoon Mini is underwhelming, especially considering that stuff like Afterburner does actually exist on here. So that's bad. Phantasy Star is important, and it's probably one of the better RPGs on here, but I'm not the biggest original Phantasy Star fan. Phantasy Star Adventure is really more of a text-based adventure, like it says, and that's okay. And Phantasy Star Gaiden is weirdly balanced on the front end, anyway. I'm not thrilled to play any more of that, certainly. I'd be more interested in going back to Phantasy Star Adventure. Anyway, this has been 6 games. I honestly meant to do 5, but I kind of even forgot I did Operation Wolf. What can you do? Based on these 6 games, would I recommend it? Not really. Outrun I love with a passion, and I think the Phantasy Star games are kind of interesting, except maybe Gaiden. But Operation Wolf is completely unplayable, and that inclusion alone is baffling. Panzer Dragoon is just not very good. And Phantasy Star Gaiden is not easy to get into because of the way they've set up its intro. Anyway, join us next time where we play Power Strike. I know what this game is. I'm very, very excited about that, actually. Because this is a game I've been wanting to play for a long time. But I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, subscribe to the show to see more, because we are doing this every single week. You might also want to check out my Twitch stream to see me stream every single day. Usually Animal Crossing, but I do some other stuff. The first episode of this was actually on Twitch very, very early. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's Patreon or PayPal and support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability by buying more awesome multi-carts and, you know, being able to afford rent and food and the like, because your support does help quite a lot, and it definitely is encouraging to receive. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for Power Strike. But until then, peace out, Internet.